Hey, so how are you today? I feel like I'm blending in with this t-shirt. I'm blending into the background today. It's your girl, LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. Always excited to share some smart things you can do to work on your money, your marketing, and your sales goals too, with strategy and intention. So today, what I am going to do is to continue our conversation around productivity. This is day number 7. Yay! And yesterday I promised you that I would share some more productivity secrets and solutions from the 3-hour workday routine book right here. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. But before we get there, out of curiosity, I would love to know if you've been following along these last few days, if you have been able to really think about, sit down, or even integrate some of these productivity hacks into your workflow, right? So I talked to you about doing a few things. Number one, I said, I need you to create a quick knockout list, of things that you've been meaning to do, but haven't done yet. I said to you, I want you to think about being in a space where you can, at the very least, accomplish 3 top goals, 3 tasks that you can knock out if you do nothing else. We talked about creating what I call WBTs, work in background tasks. So before you do longer tasks and you're knocking out a few short things that can potentially kind of work for you and your business in the background while you're working on other things in the foreground. Those are a few of the kind of conversations we talked about over the last few days, among other things. So, of course, as I mentioned before, out of curiosity, let me know if any of these have been helpful to you, number one. But number two, I also wanted you to think about what you do as far as your productivity that works really well for you. I said, I want you to double, triple, 10x down on those productivity solutions that are really working well for you. And out of curiosity, I would love to know if you could just drop into the comment box if you know there are certain things that help you become the most productive you could potentially be. What are some of those things for you? One of my favorites is I always talk about bulk tasking. When, for example, if I have to write or create some pieces of content, I'll sit down and I'll do several audios or several videos or write several pages so that I can distribute that content over time. So some people call it batching. Before I heard about batching, I was calling it bulk tasking. And that works really well for me when it comes to productivity. I also talk about templates. So before I even read you some of the good that's in here, I always like to share the templates that I use to create my content, like my ebooks, my printables, my planners, my journals. Now, this is a side note. If you know about this, yay. But if you don't, I do have what I call the content creation kit. It's got the easy ebook template, which is absolutely lit. It's new just for you, my bosses out there who are looking to create some great content. So the easy ebook, the easy journal, the easy workbook. Those are 3 inside templates that you can use inside of the content kit over at sistersense.com/CCK. Okay, CCK for content creation kit, right? That's just a side note. Those are some things that help me when I use my content templates to quickly produce information and produce new things for my clients. What are things that work really well for you? I would love for you to drop those into the comment box, share them with me so that we can see, the community here, other ladies and gents in my circle, we can see what you're working with. Okay. So, with that being said, um, I also talked about integrating one of my favorite things, integrating your goals. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Carlin. Welcome, my dears. Integrating your goals into your day by day routines, especially when you think about if there are things that you know that you wanted to do at the start of the year, and you think about this day right here. If you haven't actually started to knock out those goals yet, a part of that is that your goals need to be a part of the day-to-day things that you implement, right? Which is important as well. So one of my goals this year was to do web classes every single day, every day, 365 days, right? I don't know what day this is in the year, but however many days we are into this year, That's how many days I've been doing my web classes, right? It's become a part of the routine. So I wanted you to reflect on this week as well. If there are things that you wanted to accomplish at the beginning of the year, but you haven't quite gotten there yet, a big indication or a big light bulb moment is, am I trying to find the time to get this done and I still haven't found the time to do it? Or am I actually going to start to do these things as part of my routine? Okay. So yesterday I took you inside of the 3-hour workbook. Yeah. And I shared with you special people, right? Think about that, number one. And number two, what I'm going to do is talk to you today about special systems. Okay. I also talked about templates. I might as well bring that up as well. So the whole concept here is me sharing with you how I consistently create 3-hour periods where I can really knock out a lot of information, a lot of content, right? And I use all of these special strategies, right? So special people was one of them. I mentioned this yesterday. I said, identify special types of people who need special types of communication from you. Okay. So consider the following. For example, when I have new course students that need to know how to get access or work through the material, I always put together some sort of getting started guide for them, right? So depending upon what they've purchased, my customers are oftentimes automatically added to special segmented lists. So for example, I'm a web designer, so I'll say, okay, well, here are the things that you need to send me. Here's what I'm going to do. This is where we get started. So a lot of times you guys feel like you're wasting a lot of time repeating yourself or constantly sending out the same information, writing it over and over and over again can drive you crazy, right? So for these special people, you want to have this content already ready to go and be able to automatically deliver it as needed, right? So I don't know if I shared this yesterday when it came to special people, but there are different types of people. It's not just customers or clients that I consider to be special people. Media outlets. So when media outlets contact me for interviews or speaking engagements, I always have my media kit ready because they always ask the same thing, right? Can I get your photo? Can I get your bio? Can I get your speaker sheet? Can I get your, links to your social media? These things that they're constantly asking for. When you have that PDF ready to go, it's easy for you to quickly get these things done, right? So as opposed to wasting time answering the same questions, taking the same calls, doing the same tasks over and over and over, you want to create systems and guides that make it easier for you to deliver the information they need in less time. So that was the special people conversation. What I'm going to do is actually share with you special systems. Okay. That special people was number 5, special systems is number 9. Okay. So identify, and before I even get to special systems, feel free to let me know if you know whether it be media people or certain unique types of customers that you need to start creating more content for them, preliminary content with information so it's ready to go, right? So onboarding, especially if you're onboarding new clients, and you know that, oh, you feel like you're not organized there. And a lot of productivity for me, honestly, is about organization. Now, never mind, my room looks like a hot mess. And my hubby would say to me, I wish you were organized in all aspects of your life. We can't be perfect, okay? We cannot be perfect, but I'm very, very organized when it comes to my products and the services that I offer, because I do a lot of this by myself, and so that I'm not wasting time and I'm consistent when it comes to delivering quickly or having follow-up conversations quickly. I try to make sure that these systems are in place. So with that being said, let's talk about special systems. What I want you to do is I want you to identify the special systems you use to make things happen, right? So outside of what I can share with you, I want you to write this down. WWW, work what works for you. Okay. And there may be some things that work well in some aspect of your life that if you really thought about it, you could apply that system to some aspect of your business. To be honest with you, we got to work on our strengths. We got to work on our superpowers and applying those strengths and superpowers to the areas where we need to get better at productivity, right? So With that being said, identify the special systems you use that make things happen. Apply some of those processes to other parts of your business that need improvement. For example, I have my own system for hosting virtual events, creating information products, and working with clients, right? So I can do virtual events with my eyes closed because I just know how to do it. I've got my process together. Funny enough, today is Wednesday. I do my clarity calls today, right? So I've got a system for doing my calls, for doing my webinars, for sending the recording, sending the recordings over to my clients. I can rinse and repeat that process so it works for them and it works for me too, right? What works for you? Let's talk about that. Now, when you define and document your special way of doing things, that's the when I, sometimes I'll say to people, do you have systems in place? And they go, what are systems? They're really just the things that you do to get things done effectively, right? It works, right? You got to kind of sit down and reverse engineer this, which really is just a fancy way of you going, okay, so this is the result that I get. What are the steps that I take to get to this result? You got to write it down. Now, this is effective for you. It's helpful for you because then you're able to identify what this actual process is. You're able to repeat it, apply it to other things. And I'm going to be honest with you, in a lot of cases, you're able to sell that process, right? When a lot of times when I teach people and train them, I'm showing them how to do things the way I do things. And the only way I could actually monetize it is to document it, right? So for those of you who go, oh, I know this, I'm an expert at this, I've been doing this for X amount of years, and it works really well for me. Are you able to articulate that to other people? Or are you able to, at the very least, document that process so that you can consistently apply it to other aspects of your business? Okay. Now, this is especially helpful if you struggle with structure and you find yourself doing everything from memory. Okay. Struggling to explain your processes to others or repeat the process consistently. Some of us, we're just like, I know how to make that cake, so I'm just going to make it from memory. But everybody loves it, right? And they want your recipe. So as opposed to them depending upon you to make it, they want you to write the process down, not just simply do it from memory, but have a space where they can get that information, right? That's monetization when it comes to productivity and systems that work for you. But most importantly, getting really clear about how these systems work so you can rinse and repeat the processes, okay? So write them down and build them out so that you can see how your systems work alone and fit together. This will help you create great experiences for your team, and your customers while improving on your systems over time. Okay. At the end of the day, I actually take time every year to get better at what it is that I do. Right. I know the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. In some cases that applies really well. But a lot of times it's going to help you if you can improve on the strategies and structures that you've already put in place. So, with that being said, I wanted to again share with you some strategies inside of the 3-hour workday routine, special systems, special people, just a few of these strategies. If you go, wait, where is this particular book? Well, the digital version is available inside of the Girl Boss Book Club over at sizzlesense.com/GBBC for Girl Boss Book Club. Okay. So hopefully this has been helpful for you today. I kind of wanted to share a few new things from in here, but also give you a recap rundown of the last few days, the different products, tongue tied, the different productivity strategies that I've been sharing with you guys over the last few days. So again, let me know strategies that maybe I haven't even mentioned that work really well for you, because of course sharing is caring. And as I say that, feel free to share this out. If you've enjoyed it today, you can tap on those hearts, those likes, and make sure you turn on alerts and notifications so you can see when I'm live, so you can jump on here with me. All right. So productivity day number 7. Hopefully this has been helpful. Make sure that, guys, as I'm doing these web classes, if you have particular questions or topics you would like me to cover, all suggestions are great suggestions. You can always email sizzlesense@gmail.com, and I'll see how I can integrate those conversations into these conversations as part of this web class series. So, alrighty, my dears, that's it for today. Till tomorrow, take care.